I would like to welcome you to the Budget, Finance, and Audit Committee meeting of June the 26th, 2026. I'd like to also introduce my fellow commissioner, Jeffrey Merkowitz, we constitute the committee for today's meeting. I'd also like to welcome the staff and any people who may be joining us by Zoom, by YouTube. So with that, I'd like to proceed with the meeting. The first order of business is the approval of our minutes of May the 28th. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of May the 28th?
So moved.
Been probably moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. The first item for discussion today at the meeting is dealing with our renewal of our audit contractor. And I'll turn to our president, Chelsea Andrews.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee, the HOC team, and members of the public. Commissioners, this is a request to renew our contract with CLA. We have, as you all know, partnered with CLA for over the last 10 years, and this is the last renewal year that the contract provides. According to our resolution with the commission, any renewals must come before the commission, which is why we're here today. And so I will turn it over to our CFO, Tim Getzinger, to provide more details related to this request.
Thank you, President Andrews, and good morning, commissioners and the viewing public. For the record, Tim Getzinger, Senior VP of Finance and CFO. As President Andrews mentioned, before you is a request to renew the agency's audit contract. As background, on December 8th, 2021, the Commission approved a 2-year contract number 22-2252 with Clifton Larson Allen, LLP, also known as CLA, to be the Commission's primary auditor. The Commission included 3 one-year optional renewals at the Commission's sole discretion. On January 10th, 2024, the Commission approved the use of the first renewal, which extended the contract through July 1st, 2025. On March 5th, 2025, the Commission approved the use of its second renewal, which extended the contract through July 1st, 2026. CLA has served as the auditor for HOC since fiscal year 2005. CLA is a global firm that provides audit services to state and local government clients, including housing authorities, serving more than 3,700 governmental entities across the country and more than 90 housing authorities and housing finance agencies, including some of the largest in the country. CLA has unsurpassed depth of experience serving housing finance agencies and authorities similar to HOC. Under the current contract, CLA performs the agency's audit, including the single audit and 6 bond indenture audits. CLA's depth of audit knowledge, as well as their level of commitment, availability, and access is exceptional. As the President mentioned, this is the 3rd and final extension of the original audit contract executed in 2021. To ensure timeliness in the evaluation and execution of the next contract, staff recently promulgated a new request for proposal for audit services to cover FY27 and FY28 with 3 optional 1-year extensions. The selection is expected to be made by January 2027 to allow for the transition and onboarding process should a new auditor be selected. Generally speaking, the onboarding process for a new auditor takes 2 to 3 months and covers significant planning and interim work consisting of entrance meetings, reviews of internal controls and prepared by client lists, and initial field testing. Staff requests authority to utilize the 3rd and final 1-year renewal option and has promulgated, as I said, a RFP for the next iteration for the contract. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Merkowitz, do you have any questions about this recommendation?
No questions. I think CLA has been a very good partner. And I think, we've been with them a long time, and, I think it's served us well. I do, without prejudging anything, I think we do need to think about whether going forward, it is, whether it would be a best practice or for any other reason to consider a different auditor at some point. But for now, I'm very happy with them.
Yeah, I would second that sentiment. I think that it's also reflective of the fact that our staff has done an excellent job of keeping us in financial positions where we can get audits done and get very favorable reports that come from our audit firm. So I, I would certainly support that, and can I get a motion to recommend this forward to the full commission for action?
So moved.
I second it. Properly moved and second. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Motion carries. We will recommend this forward at the next commission meeting.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda has to do with the approval to select a vendor for Bradley Park's elevator modernization. Chelsea Andrews.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Commissioners, as you know, across our portfolio, we have capital needs that occur over time. We definitely try our best to plan in advance. This is one of the occasions in which we did plan for having repairs done to a very dated elevator at one of our properties. I'm going to turn it over to our asset management team. Kelly Dickerson, Vice President of Asset Management, as well as Aaron Smith with Asset Management for this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, President. Good morning, Chair and members of the Budget, Finance, and Audit Committee. Today, we are proposing the first elevator modernization project at HOC at Battery Lane. We'll quickly share the background of the project, the procurement process, the project costs, funding source and schedule, and then we'll conclude with our recommendation for approval. Yes. Before discussing the project itself, here's some background on Battery Park. It was acquired in 2024 to preserve affordable housing opportunities in Bethesda. And in late 2024, in combination with the property's financing, the Commission approved capital resources from the Opportunity Housing Fund to address building needs. Although Battery Park remains an important long-term redevelopment opportunity, these buildings are over 60 years old and require strategic investments today to maintain the safe and reliable housing that we're so proud of. Since acquisition, the staff has completed assessments and always prioritized critical life safety and infrastructure improvements throughout the property. Battery Park itself consists of 256 apartments across 3 buildings, including 192 affordable units, serving households between 50 and 80% of the area median income. And one of the highest priorities identified during the most recent assessment was the modernization of the elevator serving specifically building 4900. Next slide, please. The elevator in 4900 building has exceeded its useful life. I'm not so surprised. It's approximately 65 years old, and the life expectancy for most elevators is roughly 30 years, meaning the equipment has really served well beyond its intended useful life. An independent elevator condition assessment determined that the equipment is in its finite condition and nearing the end of reliable operation, which has been seen by the ongoing repairs that we've had to make to keep it operational. Many of the components are simply obsolete, and so it means that the elevator's down for longer periods of time while we find solutions. As a result, also, elevator contractors are very unwilling to provide comprehensive maintenance agreements because they simply can't do so reliably and with quality. So while our maintenance contractor has implemented enhanced preventative maintenance to extend the elevator's operations, the efforts are simply temporary and can't resolve the underlying mechanical deficiencies. So modernization is the most cost-effective long-term solution to provide the reliability that we need and to remain in compliance with current building codes. Next slide. To ensure a competitive process, our procurement process was used. We evaluated pricing, responsiveness of the companies, their qualifications, and their previous performance during the invitation for bid process. Potomac Elevator ultimately submitted the lowest bid at $356,788, and including adding an HOC contingency that came to $410,306. and the pricing and the demonstrated performance made them the best candidate to proceed. Next slide, please. We've provided here the tentative schedule to minimize risk and ensure proper sequencing of the work in conjunction with Potomac Elevator. Following commission approval, if garnered, the staff will issue the notice of award and execute the contract. We'll go into the process of engineering, permitting, and drawing approvals, and then we'll also move to specialized elevator equipment fabrication, and that is an extended lead time. That is why installation takes until the beginning of doesn't start until the beginning of 2027. Throughout that process, management will stay in contact with tenants, and we obviously will be making plans to accommodate any tenant needs throughout the process and any new tenants that join us in the meantime. Our goal obviously is to be well prepared for when the installation happens and the elevator is ultimately taken down for that process.
Just a quick note,
Yes.
may want to correct the date on the lead time for, I assume that should be September 2026 for the start date. I was initially excited to see that HOC had figured out how to finish projects before they started.
But that doesn't happen at all.
Yeah.
Not yet. We're not magic. Thank you
So-
very much, Commissioner. Appreciate that.
You
And do
also
apologize for the error. Sir?
No worries.
I was going to say, you also need to correct your date for the execute contract, estimated completion date.
Oh, yep. Missed that one. Boy, you guys are good.
Yeah. No. Moving on to the next slide, please. The project has been planned for financially in using the OHRF authorized as part of the acquisition as described earlier. The property does have replacement reserves, and they are held by PNC as agent for the lender. And per the agreement, they have discretion over the amount held throughout the loan period. As the cost of the first elevator would consume 80% of the $478,000 in the reserve account, we recommend using the OHRF funds and seeking partial reimbursement from the reserve. Note that we would also recommend preserving many of these funds for future capital needs in any case, because we've got ongoing unit turns and modernization of a second elevator. We are requesting an updated property condition assessment to prioritize needs going forward, and that will also help us evaluate the availability of our reserve funds. The fiscal year 2027 capital budget does include a $450,000 allocation for this replacement, and we're happy that even with the contingency, we are falling below that budget. Next slide, please. Thank you. So our recommendation is that we modernize this elevator, addressing one of the most significant needs at this time, and of course, improving the reliability and safety. And we recommend selection of Potomac Elevator Company with the project cost of $410,306 and authorization for the president and executive director to negotiate and execute that contract. Are there any other questions, or did you find any other errors we can correct before we move forward?
Commissioner Merkowitz, any other questions?
Just a question on the second elevator. Is the expectation that we would do these sequentially, and that once we complete this elevator, we would start on the second one, and what's the condition of that second one?
So Aaron, let me know if I've missed something, but in general, we are in the same position in terms of the age. We would like to do that in late 2027. But we'd also like to see if we can't pair that with another elevator in the 3Bs, so we can do some group pricing for those. But we don't foresee any reason not to do that next.
So will it be the same sort of maintenance plan for that second one, the monthly cleaning, and just to make sure that it's functioning for our residents?
Oh, before it's modernized?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's already occurring because it is roughly the same age.
Yeah. Okay. No other questions.
Two questions. One, I mean, we just acquired this property in 24. I don't know if you mentioned the date, the age of the building itself.
The building itself is over 60 and we clock the elevator at the same age, at 65 years old.
So,
But in terms of, I think HOC at the time during acquisition was hoping to to, make things last as long as possible so we could roll through improvements as we needed to, and I think that's what we've been doing.
yeah. I noticed that in the budget estimate, there was a cost related to annual inspection. Is that provided for by the contractor, or is that something that you contemplate doing out of the contingency for the agency?
So back on slide 5, I just want to make sure that I am. So you're talking about the maintenance proposal annual amount, sir?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is proposed by Potomac Elevator. That was another part of their proposal that made them competitive. So that's what it'll cost us annually for them to come in with the new elevator to keep it maintained during the year.
So, I mean, I'm just trying, is that I mean, that's just the amount for the first year after the elevator is put in service, or is that
Yes,
something
sir.
that they do annually for how long?
Oh no, it's ongoing annually. So after the elevator's put in service, they'll maintain it. And of course, we don't expect any repairs, but they'll do preventative maintenance and checks, and they'll do that every year. We keep a contract on all elevators annually.
Okay.
And that's part of the inspection process to get our certificates.
Very good. Any other questions, Commissioner?
No questions. I would make a motion to support the staff's recommendation and send this to the full commission.
I second that. Been properly moved and seconded to advance this forward to the full commission for review at our next meeting. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. So ordered. Thank you very much for
Thank you,
that.
commissioners.
Also, we have no other items to come before this committee today. And so I therefore announce that this meeting is adjourned as of 9:50 a.m. And thank you very much for staff for nice good presentations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
great weekend.
Have a great weekend. Take care.
All right, thank you.